Putting the pro in procrastination, I think we all feel that can be something in our lives that often crops up. And the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of us is we're lazy. But the truth is that humans are wired for comfort. When we are wired for comfort, it means that if your alarm clock goes off and you're super cozy in bed, all tucked up tight, you don't want to get out of bed and get uncomfortable, maybe getting cold, maybe doing a hard workout, whatever that is that you are attaining to do when you get out of bed. The reason you don't is because you're more comfortable in the bed. It's a pain and pleasure principle. What we need to understand is that sometimes with procrastination, we just have to get started. So by making a rule of doing a 15-minute time slot of just doing it, what you will find is majority of people, at least 80% of people, will continue on after that. And those that don't, at least they've done 15 minutes. The second thing with procrastination is often built because it is creating things that are making us uncomfortable. And one of the things that often makes us uncomfortable is these tasks we have in our life are huge. We are built in a world where we have 24/7 on-the-go situations and we don't often get a rest. It used to be that you would go to work, you would come home, you would do family life. Now we are going to work, we're often doing work online or connecting online. Then we've got family life as well, and it's 24/7 cycle. So it's really important to think about things in smaller capacities, breaking them down into micro shifts, building small habits that will then pick you up into a cycle. So if you are feeling uncomfortable because the task is too big, start small and do one step at a time. Like, for example, breaking things down into 15 minutes or starting even smaller with one small step. Procrastination is also very important to understand that just like habits aren't always healthy. And habits are something that we as humans can build that are not servicing our goals. And habits can be something that we are building that are servicing our goals. But there is a lot of poor habits out there that accrue to addiction and other things encompassing. When I was about 9 years ago, I didn't want to do any mental health work. I didn't do breath work in my yoga, and it led me so low on my life that I attempted on my life. I kept putting off meditation because it was really hard to sit in my head. I didn't like the darkness, and it led to really poor decisions. Luckily, I didn't do well at that poor decision. However, I realized then that it was more pleasurable to live and do the work of the mental health than it was not. Sometimes we need to understand that these things like breath work, moving our bodies to get healthy and fit, taking time to create self-care, whether it be 10 minutes away from social media, limiting our scrolling, creating a more nutritious lifestyle, finding a group of people that actually support us. It's very, very important to do so. It's uncomfortable in our lives to change. It's uncomfortable in our lives to live our excuses and regrets. It's uncomfortable in our lives to procrastinate. It's uncomfortable in our lives to not procrastinate. Everything is really the art of suffering well. What you have to look is the long-term benefits and how one leads to growth and one leads to continual discomfort and moving away from your goals. When you do that, you change the pain and pleasure principle to realize your long-term goals are pleasurable.